Hello, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. I want to thank one of our admins who is in Mozambique who gave us this translation because the original message was written in Portuguese. Unfortunately, I can't read Portuguese. Anyway, this is what the translation reads like. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? Can you please post for me his hidden identity? I am a man who is aged 57 years and I am the only person surviving in my family because I sacrificed all of my family members to do some rituals. These things has been running in our family for quite a long time. When I was 29 years old, I went and I visited this other man. We were searching for wealth at that time, not wealth as such. All that we wanted was some kind of an opportunity. As for me, I wanted to start a very small business. Then from there, I was thinking that I'll be able to take care of my family. All that I know is that as a family, we have been staying in the farms ever since the days of colonization. We have never moved out of the farms. Even my fathers, they actually grew up in the farms. They actually grew up in the farms. Even us, when we were born, we grew up in the farms. As for us, there was no hope like we would ever go to the city. We just knew that we would end up getting married in the farms and having our children in the farms. But when we were growing up, I had another mind. I told myself that I had to get out of these farms. And me and a friend of mine, that is when we visited this other guy. The guy was actually from Malawi. He was also staying at that farm where we were born. He was quite an old man. We went to him in search of wealth. And I didn't know that the move that I had taken, it was quite a bad move, which was going to cost the lives of my loved ones. So what happened is that I was asked to bring back a black chicken, and after this, I will swear to the gods of the rivers to give me money by using blood and flesh once a year. There is quite a story about how I got this chicken, but as for now, all that I can say is that I stole this chicken, and in the end, the owner of that chicken died. That was my first sacrifice. When I returned back to that old man from Malawi who was going to perform all of these rituals so that I can get rich and get out of the farms, he asked me who was the owner of that black chicken. I then lied to him that this chicken belonged to my parents. Then he said, "Are you ready to sacrifice any of your parents?" Yes, he was not beating about the bush. He told me that the moment that we were going to slaughter that chicken, the owner of the chicken was going to die. I was afraid of him because throughout the farms, all the people knew that this guy from Malawi, he was a dangerous man and you don't play with him. If he tell you that you are not going to live to see the sunrise tomorrow, you would never see it. You will just either die in your sleep. By then, I was not yet married. So me and that old man from Malawi, we went into a bushy area. Then he took out a pocket knife and he handed me that pocket knife and he told me to kneel down. I knelt down and he told me that I had to slaughter that chicken. So I slaughtered the chicken. After slaughtering the chicken, he told me to hand it over to him. As I was kneeling down like that, I handed him that slaughtered chicken with blood dripping off because I had cut off its head. Then he took that black chicken. Then he started rubbing it around my body such that the blood was flowing from the top of my head down to my chest. Then he said, "It is done." We traveled almost throughout the night and we reached this other river and he told me to throw that chicken into the river. That is where I asked the gods of that river to give me money by using the blood and the flesh once a year. I threw that chicken into the river. Then we returned back home. After a few days, that is when I heard that the owner of that chicken had been bitten by a snake. Unfortunately, he died on the way. Whilst that white man was rushing him to the hospital, unfortunately, he passed away. By then, yes, I was not yet married. Then the next person that I finished off, my brother. My brother was someone health-wise, he was not good. So I just chose him so that he can rest in peace. He was my second sacrifice. Soon after destroying my brother, instantly, I started selling alcohol in the farms. That is how I became rich. I was selling a lot of alcohol, and some of these people were actually coming to me throughout the month, and I'll be giving them credit. When it will be month end, most of these farm people, they will not even have a single cent throughout the month. They'll be taking my beer. In the farms, I was making a lot of money. And that old man from Malawi, when he passed away, he called me over at his house and he told me that now that I have given you this wealth, I am going to give you this coin. No matter what you do, this coin, no woman is supposed to touch it. You are supposed to keep it underneath your pillow. This coin is the one that is going to protect you. This coin is actually an old coin. I think it was used in the times when the white people were still colonizing Africa. It is quite an old coin. I don't know if I go to the bank with it, how much I'll be given. But he said, no matter what I do, I should make sure that no woman should ever touch that coin. After giving me that coin, that old man from Malawi then gave me some herbs and he told me to go into the forest. And when I am in that forest, I had to look for a tree sapling. He told me that, and I was supposed to dig out that tree sapling that I would have chosen. Then I was supposed to go at my brother's grave. And at my brother's grave, that is where I was supposed to transplant that tree sapling that I would have dug up when I was in the forest. And I had to pour those herbs that were given to me by that old man. After a few days, that old man from Malawi, he just passed away like all the other people that were staying in the farms. When he passed away, he was also buried in that farm. Life went on, and there was a one point in time that I ended up sacrificing my mother, as hard as it was, but I had no choice because that is what was demanded of me. I just had to do it. Then I got married. When I got married, my first wife, she gave me 5 boys. I kept on remarrying because I wanted to enjoy this wealth. And all of my children, they don't even know or suspect that I am the one who is responsible for everything that is going wrong in their life. Now it is much better. Unlike before, I was required to sacrifice each and every month. But now there are things that I do. Instead of sacrificing, I can just cast bad luck on any of my relatives or on any of my children that I had with all of my many wives, as to avoid sacrificing more of my relatives or my children. But this coming year, these things that I was given by that old man from Malawi, it appeared in a dream as a beautiful woman. When I dreamt about that woman, she said it had been a long time and I had no communication with you. But now I am back to tell you that we need something. We have been thirsty for a very long time. You have to do something about it. So this coming year, I have to choose among my children the one that I want to be sacrificed. And what I do after sacrificing any of my relatives or my children, after the funeral, I have to drive back to that river. Then I do that ritual again. When I drive back to that river, I slaughter a chicken whilst I'll be standing in the river so that the blood can flow straight from the chicken into the river. These are the rituals that I do. And all of my children, they don't even know that I am the one who is responsible for all of these mysterious deaths that do happen in the family. Now I am getting old. I keep on asking myself, if all of my relatives and if all of my children were to die, who is going to bury me? Because according to some of the native doctors that I have visited, they have warned me against this bad witchcraft that was given to me by that old man from Malawi. Those native doctors that I consulted with, they told me that in the end, I am going to be left alone. And when I don't have anyone to sacrifice anymore, what am I going to do? This is my own story. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was forwarded to me by one of our translators. I just want to thank her, hoping that the story was not lost in translation. Unfortunately, I can't understand Portuguese, but let us just thank one of our admins who is in Mozambique. Let us meet again in the following episode.